Hi all, so this is Monday and I'm about to start sewing together a character, and I just thought I'd show you. Often with the characters I will colour details on top of the felt rather than sewing two different parts together, because sometimes the seams get a bit too complicated. But this guy's a little bit more simple, and this is his arm, so you can see he's going to have yellow tips to his hands. Basically those will be stitched together and then it'll be folded and stitched around. So you see he's going to have yellow little hands on the ends of green arms. I'm about to sew the rest of him together as well, and I will let you know when I'm done. So this is what I mean with the hand. Once it's done, you can see that I've just stitched around the top and the base of the hand, and then this opening is where I'm going to turn it around, and you can see that I've used the two different coloured felts rather than colouring in the end. This works so much better with lighter colours. With darker colours you can get away with it with pen, and sometimes it's nicer because you don't have this central seam. But with lighter or big contrast colours, this is much better. You could, in theory, use yellow and then colour in the green, but then it'd be very difficult to get it to match the rest of the piece exactly. So this is a better option. So it's a little bit later now, and you can see that Boris has come up to help me. But Henry's head is stuffed. Yeah, I don't think I mentioned this is going to be Henry the frog. His head is stuffed. I've chosen to insert his eyes into his top seam. So I need to add the eye whites and all the details. And I'm about to add in the joint at the bottom. But you can see that he's pretty much ready to go. And I've got all his body parts cut out and stitched together in the background as well. And Boris is helping, obviously, very well. So I've moved downstairs so I can work with the TV on, and I'm just sat on my sofa with a little desk, and you can see a little bit of progress on Henry here. So I've cut out a chin part, which I needed to do because it has to go over the side seams here, and I've just glued it on a little bit, and then I will possibly attach it with stitches later if that's going to make it more secure. The trouble with the stitches is you can see them over the felt, so again I'll decide on an individual basis. And then I've got his eyes here, and same thing for them. Basically, I will decide if I want to attach them with stitches or with glue. I tend to do a bit of both, or just the glue. And this is the glue that I'm using at the moment. It's called Pronti glue, textile glue, and I really like it. It's quite sticky. It dries really, really quickly. You can see I'm basically out, so I need to place a new order tonight. But I'll get his eyes on and get the markings drawn on. Again, this is a friction pen markers, these guys, so that this will come off with heat later on. So I can start to mark out his facial features, and then I think I might attach him to his body and call it quits for the night. What do you think about that, Boris? Having a good scratch. Think that's a good idea, Bob? Yes, I think so too. So it's a little bit further on now, and as you can see, Henry is nearly complete. So he's got his shirt on, his arms are attached and movable. There's his feet and arms that we were working on earlier with the two different colour felt, and I've coloured in his cheeks. He still needs a lot of facial details, and I need to decide if I'm going to stitch around the edge of his mouth or not, and I probably need to iron this just to take out the bumps in the darts on his face. But otherwise I am pretty happy with Henry. Good progress for today, I would say. Hi all, so it's the next day. Boris is having a little bit of a paddy because he's had to wait to get his dinner today, and that is because I have been working on Henry, who is now complete. You can see the wobble joint working quite nicely there. So I finished him off late last night, and then today I got his facial details on. I didn't realise till after I'd finished him that Henry actually has the yellow marks continuing around the back of his head, which is annoying because I would have probably approached his yellow face a little bit differently had I known that. I'd have sewn it as a part of the face pattern. But I got on some of the brown, hello Boris, some of the brown dots at the back, just so that we've got the general idea of what Henry's like. If you ever commission a doll from me, it's really helpful if you send me a picture of the back of them, because often I can't find it on the internet. I searched ACNL Henry back, and finally managed to find an image that showed me that I was wrong here. So anything that you can send me is helpful. So Henry's complete, he's ready to go off to his owner. I just want to get final confirmation from his owner that he's 100% happy with how Henry looks. Don't see any reason why he wouldn't be, but I've got to double check, of course. And I'm now about to go downstairs and work on this mystery character. So I've put together a little sewing kit. I need a heck of a lot more stuffing, and I also need to find a neck joint for this person or this character. You might be able to guess who they are based on those colours. I think it's highly unlikely, so I will hopefully have another update to show you soon. So these are the boxes that I use to send out most of my orders that they'll fit in. They are white on one side and then darker on the inside, although that is important. Here is Boris again, he's helping me out. And the reason I'm showing you this is I want to show you that all of my characters, as long as I've got something in stock, will go out wrapped up in tissue paper or something similar, so that they can, in theory, be given as a gift out of box. I don't put prices into the boxes, I don't talk about money in there. I will usually leave a little note and a set of instructions on how to look after them, but other than that, the boxes are ready to be wrapped and given as a gift if that's what you would like to do. So here is my progress on the cutout character from the other night. So hopefully you can tell from now, if you know this guide, that this is going to be a Shep. I did put some extra pictures up on Instagram that have given it away, I think. So I just finished stitching his outfit and attaching that. I need to iron out the colour from the marker pens, but otherwise he's ready to go in that area. His body is stuffed but needs stitching up because I have to make some more of my labels for his seams. I've completed his hair and then added a layer of glue and then pins to hold it on because I've run out of my favourite fabric glue, so I'm having to use my slightly less favourite fabric glue. It's still fine, it just takes a lot longer to stick, I find. So lots of pins holding everything on for now, and then I have added his muzzle, which is in a slightly different colour of felt, a warmer shade. And I've gone with a top seam here because I knew that most of that was going to be covered by the nose rather than a chin seam, which is what I would normally do. You can see the pattern piece here has got a chin seam. It leaves more space to work on the face, but with this guy I thought actually on this particular piece the seam's going to be hidden mostly by the nose and the chin's going to be visible and it would have been more obvious. And then I've gone with adding his nose and his little freckles in Copic marker. And the reason that I've done that is because I had thought about stitching it on, but he's got this area on his nose which is like a little shine mark, and I couldn't really work out how I was going to do that either by cutting out the felt or by stitching on embroidery thread, so I've decided to go with the Copic markers and I think it looks pretty good. So he still needs his arms, which I have already stuffed and stitched together, so they just need attaching. I also need to work out what I'm doing with his ears. At the minute they are a single cut of felt because I'm low on this colour of felt here. I don't have any additional pieces big enough to make ears. And he also needs a tail, but otherwise he is hopefully going to be completed tonight. So I've run out of my ready-made name tags for the seams of my little creations, and the way that I tend to make these is I get my brand name printed onto a long length of ribbon like this, and then I cut the names out. Oh, you can't really see that, there we go. Cut the names out into tag lengths, fold it over and seal the ends. Because it's polyester ribbon, you can seal the ends just by heating it up with a flame like so, and you can see it kind of shrinking away from the flame, and that basically seals it, stops it unraveling rather, and that means that I can then stitch that into a seam without it coming apart later on. So that's how I make my name tags for my little creatures. So Shep is now pretty much done. I've gone with hand stitching on a single layer of felt for his ears because otherwise there's no way to get him finished before Christmas because I am out of his felt. I'm just going to keep his nose and hair pinned on to dry overnight. And I'm now working on my Secret Santa present for one of my students. We chose a budget of £5 for this year and we each wrote 3 things that we liked. And this boy's really helped me out by telling me he likes white chocolate and the wrap of the day from McDonald's, and those are the only things under £5 that he likes. Turns out that English McDonald's doesn't do gift vouchers, so I'm going to make him a little McDonald's pencil case. I'm using pin stitch on my machine here, which you can see just kind of stitches forward and then sideways into the felt. And I'm going to go around the outline of the McDonald's logo and turn it into a little pencil case with a yellow zip, so hopefully he will like that. So here's the finished product and I'm pretty happy with that. It's got a zipper that works, but I can't show you it because I've only got one hand while I'm filming with my iPhone, and then if I just reach around to the other side and cover over this kid's name just in case, you can see that I've also added a little personalised thing that says this person's name, Hearts Wraps, just to make up for the fact that I haven't bought him a wrap of the day as his Secret Santa present. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's a nice personalised gift, and hopefully he'll enjoy putting his pencils in that, and he'll enjoy the chocolate that I'm going to stuff inside of it as well. So I don't know if you can hear my voice or not, but overnight I just got really, really ill. It's just a cold, but it hit me really, really quickly, so my work has gone downhill a little bit. Shep's face is now done. All the pins are out and everything's ready to go. I just need to add details to his jacket, but I don't want to get things wrong because I'm not thinking straight. So I've moved on to making a present for my friend. It's meant to be an ornament of her cat, but I kind of forget that although when they're put together the dolls are quite small, it doesn't mean that the heads are small. So it's quite a big ornament for her tree. But she's got this lovely little rescue cat called Ralphie, and he has a little white chin on a black face and green eyes. So I'm just making him up as a little bauble for her, and hopefully that'll make a nice Christmas gift. But really, I don't think I'm capable of working on commissions today, because anything that I get wrong now is going to set my work schedule back a little bit. So treating myself to a night off, making presents for friends instead. Well, at least while my washing machine is refusing to drain, I can mop the entire floor with its waters as they pour delicately out of the front of it. So I'm pretty sure that I forgot to film the rest of the Christmas bauble that I made for my friend because it ended up being a bit of a rush, but she did really like it. And actually it's kind of helped out because another friend of mine has lost her cat in the last couple of days, and her little boys have been quite upset by it, even though it was something that they knew was going to happen. So I offered to make them a little cuddly version of the cat that could come with their Christmas elves, and she is now done. So this is Tia. So I wanted to show you her because obviously the main thing that I do is make the Animal Crossing dolls, which have outfits and they're very fixed in their design, but actually I do quite like making them without clothes and in their own style as well, so quite happy to take pet commissions, and hopefully Tia's going to go down well with the family.